Yavapai College is one of our sponsors, along with Northern Arizona Healthcare, the Kling Family Foundation, Goldenstein Gallery, BMO Bank, and the City of Sedona. We'd like to thank you for your sponsors, as well as all of our hoteliers, our restaurateurs, and many of our volunteers and additional sponsors. We appreciate you being a part of this year's festival. And joining me now is a filmmaker, Travis, with your film,
Central Valley.
Central Valley.
Yeah.
And at first we thought it was Central Valley, Phoenix, but it's not. It's Central Valley, California.
Excuse me. Yeah, Central Valley, California. Basically out in the middle of nowhere. Middle of California. It's basically a lot of farmland. There's not a lot going on out there. So, people tend to get into drugs and stuff like that. And that's basically what my film is about.
So Homeland actually inspired you to do this particular film.
Yes. It's loosely based off of my upbringing, is what I would say. Some experiences I had growing up. My dad left when I was young, and I got into a lot of trouble, got arrested a couple times before I turned 18, and is kind of what sparked this film.
And what then inspired you to be a filmmaker?
That's also interesting. So the second time I got arrested, I had a very traumatic experience because they put me into an adult jail and I was a minor. And, this is small town stuff. They wouldn't do this. They wouldn't be able to get away with this in like a city, but they put me in an adult jail. And, I was pretty rude back then, and they knew what they were doing, I want to say, and they wanted to maybe scare me. And that worked, I did. I got scared, and that's kind of when I started turning my life around, and I stopped using and selling drugs, and I stayed home. I started trying to take care of my brother more and stuff like that, and I started watching movies and TV shows, and I started looking up to these actors as like father figures, and I accredit them as saving me in a way. So I told myself I wanted to do that for people one day. I wanted to help someone who was in my position growing up, who didn't have that proper guidance.
Bravo.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, no, I'm really glad. And to hear you turn your life around like that, I think it's really important. And then also just giving back and educating people that they have more and that they can do better in their lives.
Yeah, the way I look at it is like, if this film can help even one person who was in my situation, then it was, the 3.5 years that I've spent creating it was worth it.
Yeah, wow.
Yeah.
So is this your first film?
Yeah, it's my first feature.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And this your first festival?
Yeah, it is. Like this is legit my first festival, and it's incredible. This festival is amazing. Like I've been talking to a lot of the attendees who've been here before and been to other festivals, and they're like, man, they set the bar real high because a lot of festivals aren't like this one, I was like, this is amazing. Yeah, it's been a great experience.
Good. Congratulations
thank
for
you.
getting in. I mean, I'm just so happy for you.
Thank you.
And your first time in Sedona?
Yes.
Oh my.
It's gorgeous. Oh my gosh, it's incredible. I've been to Arizona before, and I've done the Grand Canyon, and I love that. That's amazing. But I'm just like in constant awe when I'm outside, just looking 360 degrees, all these amazing features, these mountains. It's incredible. It's beautiful.
I know. I was talking to a filmmaker yesterday. Actually, we interviewed him earlier in the week, but he was like, every time, like I'm out there, like I take a picture, and then a couple hours later, the sun is different, and I have to take the same picture, but in another direction.
I know that feeling. Yeah, we actually went for a couple hikes yesterday, and it was just constantly changing because of the clouds and the sun positioning. It was gorgeous, absolutely stunning.
Yeah, it's like this all the time. I mean, when I was driving in, some of it, there's snow on some of the mountains. Well,
Yeah.
there was this little like gully, I guess, if you will, but it was all filled in with clouds.
Oh,
And
wow.
the way the sun came up, I wanted to stop and pull over. I wanted to be like a tourist. I'm like, yeah, I can't do that.
It's always a good sign, tourists in your own town. I love that.
Yeah. Yes. Thank you.
Absolutely. I'm not gonna lie. I live in LA now, and I've done those Hollywood tours. Like even though I've lived there for 10 years, I love it. It's really cool to see some of these houses and learn some of the history about the town.
Mm-hmm.
So gotta do what you gotta do.
Did you take one of those buses with the maps?
I did. It was a good time. I've done it twice.
Do they really take you to people's houses, or do they just say, "Oh, it's like someone's house," and it really isn't?
I mean, I'll be honest with you. Like half the time, it's probably not that person's house, but it's still a gorgeous house. Like, so I'm just like, oh, this is pretty. Okay, cool. Oh, Nicolas Cage lives here. Okay, maybe this is one of his 30 houses. I don't know.
Well, it's a good place to dream, right? You can look at it and say, "I want to live there."
Yeah.
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 I used to do that. I grew up in New Jersey, and there was it was like 20 minutes away. It was all like these beautiful homes, and there was an apple orchard. So I used to say, I'm going to the apple orchard. But I would drive up, and then I would sit in front of somebody's house and just like look at it going, I want to live there.
Yeah. Yes. Yes.
And then I'd come back to my house, and it was like maybe a size of one of their garage doors.
Like I could fit 2 cars in here. Maybe. Yeah. Yeah.
If that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well,
Another feeling.
awesome. So are you working on another film coming up, or like what are you doing?
Yeah. So the first script that I ever wrote, feature script, is like I'm still writing it. It's been 15 years, but that's the one I want to do next. It's a dark comedy / drama about a guy who's just kind of like, I don't know, aimless in life, down on his luck, and he gets into an altercation and he gets bit by this random person, and then he thinks he's a vampire from that moment on. And the thing is like, you don't really know. There's evidence to support that he is a vampire, but there's also evidence to support that he's not. So throughout the film, he decides to use his quote-unquote powers for good, and he becomes a vigilante. But at the core of it, the film is about learning to love yourself and just learning to grow as a person, I'd say. Yeah.
So it's like Spider-Man meets Dracula.
Yeah, something along
like
those
that.
lines. Yeah, and his superpower is he can take a beating like no other.
Oh.
That's his superpower. Like he gets his butt kicked, but he's saving people.
Yeah. Okay. Good.
Yeah. So.
Well, is there a website for your film that you've brought here to Sedona?
So my general website is graymatterfilms.com. You could actually, if you go to travisandreross.com, it'll take you to I own a sweet potato company. I'm like an American Ninja Warrior. I'm an actor and a producer. So that will take you to all of those things. So you could see everything.
I think that's the first for us. We've never had a sweet potato farmer.
Yeah. It's, I got college, looking for a job, started working at a sweet potato company, and then 3 years later, I started my own.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, did you bring any with you?
I didn't. I should have,
All right. You're going
me.
to have to come back.
I know.
I want the sweet potatoes.
Exactly. It's bulk, too. I sell to, like, grocery stores and stuff. Actually, I don't know if you've heard of Peddler Sons or, Superstition Ranch Market, but those are in Arizona, and I sell to those stores.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. Well, then you're just going to have to come back up to Sedona.
Yeah, I'm just going to have to bring them.
Yes. And then is your film being shown here again? Or has it
Yeah,
shown?
so today, 1 p.m., Central Valley will be there, and tomorrow at 7 p.m.
Okay. Awesome. Well, we wish you the best with your
Thank you
film.
so
Can't
much.
wait to hear more about it. And thank you so much for being
Thank
with
you.
us.
And thank you, Sedona International Film Festival. This is amazing. It's a great experience. Thank you, all the sponsors. Incredible. This is once in a lifetime experience. Thank you.
Do you know our hashtags? Because you can sign out for us.
Hashtag you guys rock. Hashtag Sedona International Film Festival
23.
2023. Oh, just 23?
23,
Okay.
yeah. And then hashtag SIFF23.
Boom.
All right. All right. Well, thanks. And
Thank you.
we'll be back again shortly. Thank you.
Yeah, that was fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.